Hi friends, Patrick here again. In my last video, I was telling you about the hardware wallet that I acquired from Ledger Nano so that if I am able to purchase some Bitcoin, I purchase Bitcoin little bits, dribs and drabs here and there through the ShakePay app, and this allows me to control the private keys for that Bitcoin. In this video, I wanted to make a comparison as far as Bitcoin being viewed as a digital asset, as if it was digital real estate. So currently in the United States, the latest statistics I was able to get is that there are 142 million residential houses in the United States. The average price of a home, $428,700. So if you multiply that out, you get a value of the current residential real estate in the United States of a little over $60 trillion. And so that's the current value of real estate in the US. Now, instead of 142 million houses, I do a thought experiment where I say there's 21 million houses, 21 million digital houses available in cyberspace called Bitcoin. 21 million Bitcoin is the maximum number they'll ever produce, of course, as we know. And so if you had that digital real estate eventually reach the same level of value of real estate that currently exists in the United States, how much would that be worth? Well, you take 60 trillion divided by 21 million Bitcoin, you'd end up with a value of just under $2.9 million per Bitcoin, because you can't have 142 million Bitcoin. You can only have 21 million Bitcoin. There's 142 million residential houses in the United States. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. That's all there'll ever be. So if each person that owns a house in the United States also wanted to own a digital house, aka a single Bitcoin, that would force the price based on the current valuation of residential real estate to digital real estate. If you do apples to apples in terms, it would force the price to be worth 2.9 million per Bitcoin. And that would put each Satoshi at a value of 0.0289 cents, or almost 3 cents per Satoshi. The current value of a Satoshi is approximately 0.0001876 US cents. Now, this is only the United States. Since digital assets is a global phenomenon, that Bitcoin is globally available, how many more houses would that increase by? Well, you'd have to increase those numbers by a factor of 16, but we're not even going to go there, because then you're just talking even more pie in the sky. And I know some of these numbers you might say, well, that's pie in the sky. It's not the same, it's not apples to apples. Fair enough. But it's just a thought experiment that I decided to do, because I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin currently, as I'm making this video, at around 19,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, about $26,000 Canadian. And so if you were able to buy a house for $26,000 Canadian, would you do it? And then hopefully in 10 years time, maybe that house, that digital house, would be worth $50,000 or $100,000. Would that be a good investment to buy a digital house today for $26,000? And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, I think it would be a good investment. I'm not going to do that because I'm only buying in tiny amounts at this point, just little dribs and drabs. However, it is an interesting thought experiment to do, to say, okay, well, if adoption increases, if its use increases, if people are able to walk into a Tim Hortons and just show their smartphone with the QR code and say, I'd like to pay in Bitcoin, please, here you go, and just, instant peer-to-peer payment system, then the functionality would become more pervasive. It would be more able to be used as a actual currency, and other functions as well would increase. Then maybe this digital asset would increase in value, and it would be as valuable to own as a piece of tangible residential real estate. And so each person that owns a home may also want to own a Bitcoin to be useful for transacting, for buying and selling, and also for other types of digital transfer payments for, I don't know, I'm not an expert in Bitcoin, so use your imagination, but there's videos that can describe all the different applications of a digital asset that show that it does have a lot of potential to be much more pervasive than it is today. And as I mentioned, this gentleman, Andreas Antonopolous, is a lot less well known than Michael Saylor, and yet he has an even extra level of awareness and in-depth expertise on Bitcoin than any other person that I've met, Michael Saylor included. With no disrespect to Michael Saylor, he's obviously an expert as well. So I wanted to share that analogy with you, that thought experiment with you. Hope that it may be helpful to somebody, and then you can go from there. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you have good success. I don't look at it as so much as an investment to make a quick dollar. I look at it as a long-term investment in a store of value, just as if I was buying a house. So I'm putting down a tiny bit here, a tiny bit there, as if I'm making payments towards a home that's currently worth $26,000 Canadian. And if I can eventually purchase a home, that would be wonderful. I'm going to have to work hard to get there. And so I've got my work cut out for me. And I hope you're able to purchase a digital home too. So thank you for watching, and God bless you. Have yourself a great day. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.